And what a beautiful night, ladies and gentlemen, my sweet judges and my lovely friends. So I'm 16, and the topic is prejudice and discrimination. So tonight we have ladies and gentlemen, we have adults and teenagers, and we have maybe KMT or TPP, and we have locals and foreigners, maybe blacks and white and yellows. So there's a position for everyone, and there's a gap for everything. So of course, there's a discrimination everywhere. Well, is discrimination bad? Before that, I got a small question for you. Do you know anything about the selfish gene? Well, in 1967, a British scientist named Dawkins indicated that the selfish gene is the very core that drives all living creatures to grow, to thrive, and to survive. So now let's get back to the original question. Is discrimination bad? I would say no, because self-discrimination stimulates the selfish gene to function. When facing pressures or difficulties, the selfish gene will force animals to focus on the only and very important thing, survival. Well, the selfish gene will force animals, including human beings, to gather all the resources to fight against challengers. Well, look at India. Look at Gandhi, the father of India, and see how they fought against Britain, against tyranny, against discrimination. And look at the African blacks and see how they fought against whites, embracing their freedom. And one of them even became the president of the United States. Well, if discrimination is good at a level, why do people hate it so much? Well, some say it brings hatred, some say it provokes wars, some say it causes pain, blah, blah, blah. That's nonsense. People say that because they're lazy, cowardly, refusing to look at positive effects discrimination has on things. I'm telling you that instead of things like peace or love, discrimination is the very key that drives human beings to progress and to evolve. After I read the Bibles myself, it might not be completely, but among all the stories, I remember the very famous one, love your enemies. Of course, the great Lord wants us to hold love in our hearts, amen. But, do you know what? Very few people know that when your enemies mercilessly attack you, they're pointing out your weakness, which is something you never see your friends doing for you. Same, discrimination is your enemy, and they purify you and make you better with the same way. So I believe everyone here is smart and wise and is willing to try to understand the truth that the great God will teach us. Amen. Well, understand discrimination and learn from discrimination and embrace discrimination. Thus, we can live a better life. And the human civilization will be able to move to the next level. Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm 16, and the title is Explain Why You Would Rather Spend Your Life in the City than in the Country. Well, I've been living in Taipei for about 20 years, and lately I moved to Taoyuan, so I'm a city boy. Would you say that? Well, the reasons I like living in the city is because they have great food, they have great shops for buying clothes, and the transportation is perfect. Well, first of all, I'd like to talk about the food. Well, you may see that in big cities, they have lots of restaurants from different countries, maybe like spaghetti, French fusion, Chinese dishes. Oh my God, I'm sorry. The water is coming out of my mouth. So I want to say that in country, what do you eat? You might instant noodles. It's hard to imagine to live in a countryside with only a grocery shop and you only have those snacks to eat. It's pathetic. And second, I would like to talk about the shops for buying clothes. Well, you may see that, and it may not be perfect, but I dress kind of well today, and this may be the best clothes I've wear so far in my life. So I bought this, maybe not in Taiwan, but in Oregon, in a big city in Oregon. It's called Eugene. So it's about $80. I really like this one. So In countryside, they don't have this kind of shop. You can't even do window shopping. Because what I want to say is, as long as you have money, you can buy jacket, dresses, those beautiful clothes, and maybe hats, accessories. Come on, what can you do with all your money in the countryside? White clothes and white pants and white caps and everything's white. That's terrible. Okay, the last one is the transportation. I got a license myself, or I can drive, of course. So once I was in Pingdong, and there's a lot of mountains there. Some of you may know that. I spent 5 hours to get out of the mountain, and it's completely dark. And you can imagine how terrible the road was. The car almost dropped from the side of the road, and it was the mountain side. So if the accident happened, you may not see me today. So my point is, if I have those money and I can live in cities to have everything I have, why do I spend my time in the country? That's it.